Hello everybody and welcome to another FIF TV video. I'm Dov. I'm joined again by Conor, Clancy and Vieri Capretta. And if you've not watched our last video, we spoke about Inter and Napoli and their first games in the Champions League and the ramifications and what's going on there. Now we're going to talk about Juventus and Roma because they also played in the Champions League this week against Valencia and Real Madrid respectively. Right, should we start off with Juventus first, guys? Because there was a few things happened there. Vieri, Ronaldo's red card, red or not, red or dead, what do you think?
If I had to pick one, I'd say no, but that's because we've got the replays. I don't entirely blame the referee, because if you've only got one shot at seeing what's happening on the pitch
in real time,
from
one angle,
you can interpret it as something worse than what it actually was. I don't blame him entirely.
Yeah, so obviously you look at the replays and it looks like they've had a little bit of a coming together, and then he's grabbed his hair and it looks like he's maybe pulled it or ruffled it or whatever, but obviously in real time he's kind of went down and it looks like he's kind of pulled his hair to pull him up.
It's not the craziest sending off I've seen.
But you've made the referee make a decision, and if you make the referee make a decision, it might...
If you don't want VAR, that's what you get.
There is an easy solution to all of this, isn't there?
Don't do it.
VAR.
Or VAR, yeah.
Don't do it.
don't do it. It's a much better decision.
That's what I thought it looked like. I thought it looked like Cristiano Ronaldo lost his head for a brief second, went to do something stupid, and then stopped at the last minute. And then you can understand why, from the linesman's perspective or the referee's perspective, it looks like a red card.
Yeah.
We knew that was good.
So we don't just play that out. Come on.
Well, we can now. Right, okay. Moving on to the game then. Obviously, Ronaldo's card is one thing. But even with 10 men, Juve still won 2-0. 2 penalties from Milan and Pjanic. Conor, does that just show you how dominant this Juve side is? That they can go to Valencia, play with 10 men for an hour, and still win?
I was going to say, it was almost like a Serie A game, wasn't it? Juve not needing to really do all of that much with 10 men to win. I know 2 penalties, granted, but it shows maybe not how dominant they are, but how dominant they can be, because this side has been constructed to win in Europe. They've won in Italy 7 times in a row. It's going to be 8 this year. They don't need to do that much to do that. You would imagine that even in these early stages of the Champions League, they're probably not all that bothered. They'll know they'll get to the knockout rounds. They should be getting to the semi-finals at least, and then it's anyone's guess from there. But we've seen them get that far before. But I don't know. I think Juventus should be looking to take that step.
I think they were the most impressive side of this round of the group stages.
Because of what how
the game went.
Still.
I think the fact they won, then they went for it. I mean, of course, 2 penalties, but they created the chances to win it. Szczesny after the game said, we would have been probably happy without conceding and with a 0-0 result. They went on to win it, and very comfortably as well. So that just shows how good they are. I think they've improved a couple of positions aside from the centre forward, which is now Ronaldo instead of Higuain. But take Cancelo as right back. I mean, fantastic. He is great. And if you think they had Lichtsteiner there beforehand, now you've got a player who...
Best right back in the world, Vieri Capretta.
I like Lichtsteiner. And it's not...
Lichtsteiner, Cancelo.
Oh, right. But, Cancelo is probably right now up there with the very best. And the way he can defend, not so well, but what he gives to the attack is insane.
He's like that Dani Alves type who reinvented the side. He's not a right back, he's just a right-sided player.
Yeah.
He does everything.
He does everything, absolutely. And last night they lost Khedira for an injury after 20 minutes. They brought on Emre Can. So Juve are constructed to do well in Europe, as Conor said, and that's their main objective as well. And we saw that last night. They really wanted to get that victory, and they did it.
Slightly disappointed in Valencia. Won't spend too long, but I quite fancied them. First time back in Europe in a couple of years. It's
I agree
as well. I thought Valencia would cause problems, but losing at home to 10 men.
Yeah, I mean, even before Ronaldo was sent off, Valencia should have been a couple of goals down already.
Absolutely,
they were that dominant as well. But there you go. That is Juve 1. They're second in their
no
group.
surprise.
Yeah, obviously they've got young boys and Manchester United to come. It's basically the games against Man United are going to be the ones that determine who tops that group, I think. Right, let's move on to Roma, because they went to Spain as well. They played Real Madrid. You would have been kind of looking at that game thinking Roma are actually here, because they were awful, absolutely terrible. I can't think of a real chance that they created over the 90 minutes. Real Madrid were an easy streak for the majority, and then obviously fantastic Isco goal, a great ball from Modric for Bale's goal, and then Mariano, 91 minutes, just popped one in the top corner. Roma, we'll stick with Roma because Real Madrid obviously 3 champions.
They were amazing.
Yeah, but Roma are such a shambles. Not just obviously in this game, and you maybe wouldn't have expected them to win, but to kind of go there and not do anything, you deserve as well. Just say to Real Madrid, right, here are the points, just right, see you later. We can't bother with the flight because it's too much hassle.
It's just Roma this season, though. I don't know. I want to get your thoughts on Roma, to be honest.
I think they've changed a lot, and it's very difficult. Like, it took a while for Di Francesco to get to that team, the team you wanted last season, and then you change half of the players there, and it will take time again, just because he's got his style of football, which is usually a 4-3-3, and he needs to teach the players what to do. And the problem is, he's not one of those coaches that adapts too much to the squad he's got. He wants the squad to adapt to his style of football, and that takes more time. And Di Francesco's football is a type of football that means you concede a lot at the back. And Roma's last away games, he comes from the school of Zdeněk Zeman. Roma's away games last season weren't a lot better than the one last night. Like, they lost in Barcelona, they conceded 5 in Liverpool. They just, they've done a miracle and made it to the semi-finals, and they almost won to make it to the final as well. But it's not that different. The problem is that we're very early on in the season, and they've changed a lot of players, and it just takes time. And I'm not convinced the players that have come in are as good as the ones that left.
Well, let's go that, because you've got a lot of things to say about Mr. Cristante and Mr. Pellegrini.
Yeah, well, I've never been convinced by Pellegrini. I don't think he's been tested enough at the top level to prove that he's anything more than a prospect. Brian Cristante was amazing with Atalanta, but that was Gasparini's work. Gasparini saw that he fitted in this one exact role in a system. Put him there.
Everyone's amazing at Atalanta.
Well, with Papu and Ilicic feeding you all the time, because Cristante didn't play as a midfielder. He played as, at times, the striker, and Petagna wouldn't play, and then at times he was the next behind, but he was never in midfield.
And now Roma want him to be a centre midfielder.
He's not that.
Again, looking at the Rome centre midfield, because obviously Pellegrini's playing, Cristante, Pastore, and then they had the young guy Vieri, was it
Zaniolo?
He came in and
made his professional debut.
After,
I think, in a way,
not playing in Serie A. He never played in Serie A.
Di Francesco thought about it quite well. I think he wanted to send a message to the other midfielders, saying, like, look, you guys could have been the ones starting at the Bernabeu. You're not, because I want more from you.
Is this the time to do it, though?
It probably is. Well, I think his thought was, I'm going to lose at the Bernabeu anyway, so I'm going to play him now. He's not going to lose me the game. It doesn't really matter. If he does incredibly well, I'll be a genius. If not, we lost against Real Madrid. It's fine.
Is that Roma's mentality summed up so nicely there? Like, we're going to lose this anyway.
I think they've got a very easy group, actually, one of the easiest ones, but they have to make sure they don't drop points against the other teams.
Yeah.
And then they'll come second, and I see them in the round of 16 quite easily. I'm not surprised by that. I mean, did you see Asensio, Isco? It was just magical. I think any team would have lost against Real Madrid on that form.
Yeah.
I know it's an obvious thing to say, but Vieri said they give away chances, and last season they had Alisson in goal.
Yeah.
Robin Olsen isn't Alisson.
He did work very well, actually, against Real Madrid.
He had a few good saves, but he doesn't have that commanding kind of presence that Alisson has.
It's one of those things, as we said, like the ones that they bought in place of the ones they sold maybe aren't as good.
Well, Pastore as well. Did we mention Pastore? Yeah, he came in with this great what if he can click, but he's not a young player anymore. He's been inconsistent throughout his whole career. You know what you're getting with him. He's not the answer to their problems either.
There you go. What are the answers to Roma's problems? Leave a comment below. Obviously, check out the rest of the videos. We'll be doing some more regular stuff as the season goes on. Social media, all that stuff. Links in the description. And until next time, lads, arrivederci.